What's up, YouTube? um, Tanya Blunt had the opportunity to work with um Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act 2. And when we first got the news, we found out that she has a real good part. She has a lead part. And then the other little girl, y'all know who I'm talking about from daggone Michael. Um I ain't gonna be able to think of her name, but she ended up having the lead part because she had more experience in putting out records, and she was higher up. She was well known. So Whoopi ended up giving her the lead part. I mean, they all kids. We just happy we in there. We all happy we in there. Tanya didn't mind, or whatever the case may be. She was like, that's fair. She did more than I did. So it's not like I'm trying to explain the story, like to say we're not trying to say that she took Tanya's part and that's why we not rich or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man, and let's check this out. I wanted to bring this to you because this lady has said some things to Whoopi, and it kind of like remind me of the video we just did. I never seen Whoopi go off like this. I'm thinking these people should be top of the line business type people. I'm thinking that these people should be oops, there we go. I'm thinking that these people should be more professional because they at a I already made it level. But hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this out. Here we go.
Judge Jeanine Pirro, you already saw her, host of Justice with Judge Jeanine and author of the new book, great new book, Liars, Leakers, and
That's right.
Symbols.
And
Judge.
she was over on The View yesterday to promote it. How did it go? Watch this.
I'm 62 years old. There have been a lot of people in office that I didn't agree with, but I have never, ever seen anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate. I've never seen anybody be so dismissive. Here's my question for you, because you talk about, I don't have Trump derangement. Let me tell you what I have. Okay. I have I'm tired of people starting a conversation with Mexicans or liars and rapists.
But you know what's horrible?
That
when people shouldn't be here end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible?
What's horrible
when the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people.
No.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. And then on the other side of that timeout, Judge Jeanine was no longer in that chair. What happened?
Okay, so I'm invited to The View to talk about my new book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, the case against the anti-Trump conspiracy. And, my the publisher said, you want to go to The View? I said, of course I'll go to The View. I like Whoopi. I like them. I have no problem talking about my book. So I go there. And, the first segment was relatively calm. And, I got the transcript. And one of the things I said was, one of the things we need now, we need people to talk to people.
It's a big difference from the View platform and how Whoopi Goldberg was acting compared to this platform that they on now. It's a big difference. We can hear, we can understand what's going on. I don't know what was going on. Only thing I know was going on was a bunch of yelling, allegedly. I mean, y'all saw what was happening. I never even thought or imagined that Whoopi would be on a talk show like this, going off on a guest that I'm assuming that they invited this lady to talk about a book, and next thing you know, fireworks started. So I don't know what happened with that.
People who ostensibly hate each other. It's time we sat down and had a conversation. And Whoopi, interrupted and said, "Now, oh, I'm so glad." But anyway, that was almost prescient. The second segment, after some small talk, I mean, we had, I was making small talk. I was, happy to discuss my book, right? And then we came back, and it was, no holds barred. Whoopi got angry, and what the viewing audience, the television audience, didn't see is that they popped up the cover of my book as she pushed off the desk, unplugged her mic, and then stormed off the set. So I'm there saying, I'm in television. I said, I don't think the segment's over, but I think she just left, Janine. I think it's over. So I take off my own mic, and then you have to go down the stairs. Mm-hmm. I go down the stairs, and she's right there. And I said something like, Whoopi, I spent my whole life fighting for victims, because we had talked about rapes and all that. And she said to me, as she got up in my face, and I read somewhere someone said, well, you should have kept walking. I couldn't walk by her. She was at the bottom of the stairs. She says, F you. And then I said, did you just say F you? And then she said, get the F out of this building, get the F out of this building. So I'm there, and I'm like, okay. And
you didn't do anything to provoke anybody there?
No, you can ask the people that I was with. I mean, she was nuts going off the set. And then when I walked down, and so as I started walking out the building, so this woman is yelling behind me, get the F out of this building. I mean, look, I've been a prosecutor, judge, DA for 30 years. I try murder cases. I can go toe to toe with anybody. But that was abuse, and it was sad. It was a sad moment that, she was triggered, and I never understood triggering.
Did she reach out to you afterwards and apologize? I know she apologized to the audience.
She apologized to the audience, not for what she did to me, and they had no idea what happened when I walked off the set.
You hadn't heard from anyone?
A producer called, and yesterday it was nonstop radio and television. I was promoting the book. I haven't had a chance to return the call, but the producer did call.
So I mean, what is this? Just did they hate the president so much that you were the person you've been a supporter of him, so they're coming at you?
Well, I certainly think that may be it. And I tried to answer the question just like you would answer the questions. And I said, it's another audience. It's the ability to at least talk about some of the good things that the president has done and the problems that I talk about in Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, which is the corruption at the highest levels of the Department of Justice and the FBI. And I have hundreds of footnotes in my book. It's an easy read. I mean, don't get scared by the footnote comment. But, I make it clear, it's clear what happened. Read the book. They didn't want to know.
I got a question for you. They're watching this over at ABC right now. If you were to look into camera one, what would you say to Whoopi Goldberg right now?
I guess I would say to Whoopi, I've always liked you, Whoopi, and I don't understand where the anger comes from. I went to have a conversation, and I wasn't allowed to have a conversation, and I didn't deserve to be thrown out. I really, we can't treat people like that. You just can't. We can disagree, but we need to be able to talk about it.
Judge, have you ever thrown anyone off your set?
No.
When you ask someone to come on as a guest, I feel like you owe them the common courtesy, because a book tour is hard. You're going from place to place to place, and you're trying to speak to their audiences, and you're saying yes to invitations, and you have to make choices as to what shows you're going to go on. And for them to treat you that way, you're my family. I'm sorry that you were treated that way. Well, and I think as a guest in someone's home, that's just the wrong way to treat someone.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah. You're invited into their home, and to be thrown off like that was really, it was disheartening. America is better than this. America is the place where you have free speech. But what happened yesterday was a microcosm of what's happening in the nation.
Yes.
And
shout down and shut down.
Yeah, we don't want to hear from you.
Yep.
All right. Once again, the book, brand new. It's what everybody's talking about. Leakers, Liars, and Liberals. Judge
Liars, Leakers, and Liberals.
Leakers, Liars, and Liberals.
Liars, Leakers, and Liberals.
On the card.
It is wrong on the card.
It's wrong on the card.
Not your fault.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the book. I'm sure it's going to do even better now.
Well, thank you.
Everyone go buy it.
Welcome back. For today's Counterpoint segment, I wanted to discuss the recent Supreme Court abortion case. Honestly, this isn't even about whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. I just do not like bad arguments.
Once I heard her speak, I think this is Candace Nelson something. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, y'all. Once I heard her speak, I watched another video of her, and this is the young lady that Eminem rapped about and was saying things about her in his rap, and that's how I was introduced to her. So I started checking her out.
And the arguments that are coming from the left right now are absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, Candace Owen, thank you. Oh my God, Candace Owen, Candace Owen, thank you.
So let's start with absolutely bonkers, Joy Behar.
It's a very interesting schism that goes on here because on the one hand, sex sells everywhere. I mean, you can't see an aspirin commercial without somebody having sex. Mm-hmm. You cannot turn on any program, especially on streaming, where people are having there's soft porn everywhere now. Right. They encourage all of that. It sells everything. Sex sells. Yeah. And yet when it comes to the reality of pregnancy, this particular group of people on the right in this country and these religious zealots do not understand the reality of what happens when you have sex.
I don't think she knows that it's not pronounced sex, but we'll pretend that there's an H somewhere in there. For counterpoint number one, I want to say, yes, Joy Behar, you are correct. Sex is everywhere. Our culture is sick. That isn't an argument, that's a diagnosis. We have an increasingly sick culture here in America. Religious zealots and or people on the right very much understand that reality. We understand that when a culture promulgates promiscuity, it leads to people engaging in unfulfilling, unprotected sex. Far from your assessment that we don't understand what happens when you have sex, we understand exactly what happens. Children are the consequence. Life is the consequence. It would seem to me that it's the atheist zealots, the ones who have normalized sex-laden aspirin commercials, that don't quite understand what happens when you have unprotected sex. And then when they find out, they go, whoops, well, good thing I learned in health class that I can just get an abortion to deal with it. Did you know, Joy, that before federally funded sex ed programs in school, which sprang up in the 1970s, and before Roe v. Wade in 1973, teenage pregnancy rates in this country were declining over a period of 12 years. Maybe what we on the right understand is that there is such a thing as sexually transmitted insanity, the normalization of non-committal sex, which is pervasive in our culture and in our schools, and it serves no one, least of all the young women who wind up pregnant and are pressured to make a life-altering emotional decision that is packaged to them as the responsible thing to do. I believe that you and the ladies that sit beside you contribute daily to that toxic culture of lies. Do you want to be a hero? Now let's hear from your co-host.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea. Now, I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you? How dare you?
All right, counterpoint to you, Whoopi Goldberg. Number two, did you guys know back at home, by the way, that in 2017, Whoopi Goldberg received a GLAAD Media Award for executively producing a show called Strut? It was a transgendered modeling show. She won the award.
Wow. That's crazy. Watch this, y'all.
For speaking up for trans rights and against those trying to roll them back. Oopsies. This is why I love intersectionality. Here we are in the middle of a vicious culture war where a bunch of men playing dress up and trying to convince people that they are women and can give birth and they can chest feed. And here comes along Whoopi Goldberg, and she's so fired up about abortion that she accidentally tells the truth. Only women can give birth. Only women have a womb that is capable of carrying a child. They say, never get in the way of our enemies when they are making a mistake. They also say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I say, thanks, Whoopi, for proving that even idiots are capable of understanding basic biology. And for the last counterpoint, which I believe is so important in terms of this abortion debate, we currently have a culture where men are routinely accused of not stepping up to the plate. In fact, just this week, it was announced that only 18% of households in America today feature a nuclear family unit, a married mother and a father raising children. Make no mistake, father absence is one of the biggest, if not the biggest epidemic that we face in this country today. But why are we expecting men to step up to the plate when we have women that are telling them that they don't have to? Why should men step up when the message that is ringing out loud and clear from mainstream culture and media is that beyond sex, men have no responsibility or say in the lives of their children? I mean, how on earth can someone logically explain how a baby is 100% the property of a woman as it grows inside of her? From the moment that the baby is born, it requires a 50-50 split. Can a man stand before a judge at a child support hearing and say, Your Honor, it was her body, and it was therefore her choice to have this child? The answer, of course, is no. Obviously not. That would be stupid. If a man is colloquially referred to as a deadbeat dad for taking no part or responsibility in a child's life as he or she grows up, then the same must also be true for a woman who wants no part or responsibility in a child's life as it grows inside of her. My body, my choice is a pervasive deadbeat mom argument that accomplishes nothing but excusing too many men from stepping up to their most important role as fathers. Thanks for joining me on this segment of Candace. If you'd like to join the Daily Wire's fight against the Biden administration's unconstitutional vaccine mandates, head to Daily Wire.
Perfect. Yeah. I just wanted to share Candace Owens. Is that right, y'all? Candace Owens' thoughts. We're doing a live while we're doing the reactions. And once the video is finished, I'll do a closing. And then next thing you know, I talk to the live and get more deeper into different things. So, but she's right. I mean, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that only women can carry eggs and give birth. Everybody knows that. Even Whoopi Goldberg knows that. So I wanted to share this clip because I was shocked. I know Whoopi Goldberg is a strong woman. She's a strong woman, and she did a lot of things to get where she's at in this industry. Now she's older and she's doing a talk show, and every now and then that strong person will come out, allegedly. But long story short, she was pissed off, man. She was pissed. But I think, especially when you're on a talk show, podcast, whatever, you have to give the person the opportunity to get their thoughts out, so then you get a clear understanding. But sometimes you just go off the handle. That as soon as they start making a point, he's making another point, you know, you just keep jumping on the people, and then we're not getting anything solved that way. So look here, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.